You have been lied to, my friend. Lied to by the world, by your surroundings, perhaps even by your own family, and worst of all, by yourself. They told you that others were better, that success belonged to a chosen few, that greatness was inherited or gifted, but never yours. But I tell you now, with the full force of truth and experience, there is no one better than you. Not the man in the boardroom, nor the woman on the magazine cover, not the billionaire on television, nor the scholar on the stage. Every one of them began where you are, faced with doubt, swallowed by fear, and surrounded by mediocrity. But they made a decision, and so must you. My name is Napoleon Hill, and what I'm about to tell you can alter the entire course of your life, if you listen not just with your ears, but with your soul. For over 25 years, I studied the greatest minds of my time. Men like Henry Ford, Andrew Carnegie, Thomas Edison, the giants of industry and innovation. I spoke with them, I learned from them, and I discovered something that changed me forever. They were not born superior. They were not destined. They simply understood something that the average man ignores until it is too late. That the greatest power on earth is not money or talent or even opportunity. It is belief. Belief in oneself. Belief in one's purpose. Belief in the divine truth that no one, not a single soul, is better than you unless you let them be. And so I begin this message to you, not as a philosopher, not as a preacher, but as a fellow traveler on the path of personal power. You've been told to look up to others. Today, I ask you to look within, because everything you admire in others already lives inside of you, waiting. And now we will awaken it. My friend, the greatest obstacle you face is not poverty, nor is it a lack of opportunity. It is the quiet whisper in your mind that tells you you are not enough. That whisper is not your own voice. It is the echo of critics, of doubters, of fearful souls who surrendered to mediocrity and now want your company in their defeat. Let me remind you of an eternal truth. No one is born inferior. Every human being is gifted with the same power, the power of thought, and through thought, we create our reality. I have seen men rise from coal mines to command empires. I have seen boys who sold newspapers on street corners become kings of commerce. And I have seen poor, uneducated individuals become the authors of fortunes simply because they rejected the lie that someone else was better than them. What you believe about yourself is more important than anything others say about you. The richest soil of greatness lies within the garden of your own mind. Andrew Carnegie once told me, "Napoleon, any man who masters his own mind can master the world." And I found this to be true not once, but hundreds of times. Every success begins in thought. Every failure too. Your mind is a workshop. What are you building in it? Are you building castles of faith or prisons of doubt? You were born with a mind capable of extraordinary creation, but the world has taught you to use it to imagine limitations. Stop that. Stop today. You have the ability to take any idea, no matter how outrageous, and turn it into reality. But you must believe that you can. Not wish, believe. Faith is the foundation, desire is the engine, and action is the tool. There is no one better than you because you too can think. And if you can think, you can create. And if you can create, you can dominate any area of life you choose. Nothing great was ever achieved without burning desire. Not hope, not interest, not vague ambition. I said burning desire. That relentless hunger that wakes you up early and keeps you up late. That sacred obsession with a goal so personal, so vital, that no criticism, no failure, no delay can steal it from your soul. Every man who has done something significant has felt that fire. And you must feel it too. You see, the world will try to put out your fire. It will laugh at your dreams. But listen to me. Dreams belong to the man who refuses to extinguish them. Do not compare your beginning to someone else's middle. Do not compare your journey to someone who's merely walking a different path. Remember, you are not behind. You are not beneath. You are simply becoming. And what you are becoming is something powerful, something unstoppable. If only you let desire lead the way. One of the deadliest diseases to success is indecision. The man who cannot decide is the man who cannot rise. Make a decision today, right now, that you will never again see another human being as better than yourself. Not because of ego, not because of arrogance, but because you understand that you are unique, divinely made, and endowed with the same capacity to do, to become, and to create as any other. Faith begins the moment you make a decision. You say, I will become great. And then you say it again tomorrow, and the next day, and every day after that, until your subconscious accepts it. For when the subconscious accepts it, it becomes real. Faith is your inner contract with the universe, and the universe responds always to belief that is backed by decision and action. So decide now. Decide to believe that no one, no matter their money, background, status, or intellect, is better than you. For the soul that decides with faith becomes the soul that leads. Let me ask you something. How many times are you willing to try before you win? Once, twice, 10 times? If you say, I'll try until I succeed, then you've already won. Because persistence beats talent every time. You think others are better than you because they look successful, but you did not see their silent battles. You did not see the nights they failed, the rejections they endured, the inner voices they silenced. The difference between a man who wins and a man who gives up is not superiority, it is endurance. I am here to tell you, the man who persists cannot be defeated. He may be delayed, he may be bruised, but never defeated. You do not need to be the best. You only need to keep going. And if you keep going, you will surpass those you once admired. Because while they may rest in comfort, you will rise in conviction. There comes a moment in every man's life when he must stand in front of the mirror, not to adjust his tie, not to comb his hair, but to face the truth of who he really believes he is. What do you see when you look in the mirror? Do you see a leader, a creator, a man of value and vision? Or do you see someone hoping, waiting for life to give permission? My friend, the mirror does not lie, but your mind often does. If you do not see greatness, it is not because it isn't there. It's because you haven't claimed it. And that's the key. Self-worth is claimed, not given. There is no authority on this earth who can declare you worthy except you. Stop asking for approval. Stop waiting for recognition. You are the king of your own kingdom. And if you do not wear your crown, no one else will place it on your head. So I ask you today, stand tall, look yourself in the eyes and say, there is no one better than me because I am not trying to be anyone else. Show me the 5 people you spend the most time with, and I'll show you your future. The company you keep is either fertilizer for your greatness or poison to your belief. You must guard your environment with the same intensity you guard your dream. If you surround yourself with doubters, critics, complainers, you will begin to shrink. You will begin to question yourself. But if you walk with warriors, if you sit at the table of the ambitious, your standard will rise like the morning sun. You don't have to cut everyone off, but you do have to rise above. And the truth is, the more you believe in yourself, the fewer people you'll need around you. Greatness is born in solitude. Solitude is not loneliness, it is preparation. You don't need a crowd to prove your worth. You need conviction and the will to walk alone until the world catches up. So if you must walk alone to preserve your power, do it with pride. Because the world does not reward the common, it rewards the committed. One of the greatest lies society ever told you is that success has a single definition, that it means money, fame, applause, appearances. But let me ask you, who told you that? What if your greatness is in building strong children, not empires? What if your greatness is in teaching, healing, leading, or creating something that changes one life profoundly? The reason you feel unworthy is not because you are failing. It's because you've been comparing. But the rose does not envy the oak. The eagle does not wish to swim like the shark. Each lives by its own nature, and so must you. Define your own greatness, set your own standards, and pursue them with such intensity that no one dares question your path. Remember this always. A man on fire does not ask permission to burn, and your fire is your purpose, unique, personal, and powerful. You want to know the secret to greatness? It is not found in one heroic act. It is found in daily, quiet victories, those moments when no one is watching. When you choose to rise early, to train, to read, to resist temptation, to stay disciplined, you are building a legacy. And the man who builds his legacy daily will one day stand before the world and be called great by those who never saw the bricks he laid. You are not just living, you are writing your story. And every day, every decision, every habit is a sentence. The question is, what story are you writing? Will they say, he followed the crowd? Or will they say, he forged his own path? Will they say, he gave up easily? Or will they say, he refused to quit? Your legacy is not what you leave when you die. It is what you build while you live. So begin today. Begin now. For in the end, no one is better than you if you simply choose to show up every day on purpose with purpose. My final word to you is this. You were always enough before the praise, before the titles, before the income. Even before you believed in yourself, you were already enough. You simply had to see it. And now that you do, everything changes. You no longer chase validation. You no longer seek comparison. You no longer wait for the world to hand you permission slips because you know now there is no one better than you. Not because you are better than others, no, but because you are no longer trying to be them. You have chosen your lane. You have owned your fire. You have taken full responsibility for your power. The world may not understand you. It may not reward you immediately. But if you stay the course, if you live with courage and act with faith, one day they will say, there goes a man who knew who he was. There goes a man who walked like a king even before the crown. And that, my friend, is all the proof you'll ever need. There is no one better than you. Now go prove it to yourself.